It's good afternoon to Greg McShane.
Thanks, Steve. Yes, can't wait for the annual Aussie-New Zealand Bash, the Trans-Tasman Truck Challenge. This is one of our favourite races, though. It is the Truckies Mate race. Joe Scarcella out of pole, Glennie Dobson coming out of 2. Now, for those of you new to truck racing, there are 2 drivers in racing trucks. You have the lead driver and you have the Truckies Mate. This is the race for the Truckies Mates as the pace car pulls off to the side of the circuit. Greg Rust, one of my favourite races, always the Truckies Mate, always plenty of action.
Yeah, fantastic action always here at Oran Park amongst these competitors. And in fact, our current lap record holder is on screen at the moment, Joe Scarcella. Scarcella got that record last year, and I tell you what, he's doing a great job out there at the moment. Cole Lovett moves himself up into 2nd place and relegating Glennie Dobson wide.
Yeah, they're in there somewhere. In fact, that is Scarcella in truck 40 out in front. Now, the interesting thing is that Joe Scarcella was the lead driver in this truck last year. There's Lovett up into 2nd place. That's Rodney Crick's truck. Glennie Dobson, not only is he in the Truckies Mate race, but he has also been the lead driver after the demise of the lead driver in an accident earlier in the day. Amazing action from these guys. As you can see here, truck 40 really getting some attitude on it as he comes up onto the straight here at Oran Park. Remember, these things weigh 6 tonnes. They have better than 1,000 horsepower. I mean, what more could a motor racing enthusiast want? Out of the smoke comes Glennie Dobson. He's on a charge. Stephen Coulter's up there as well. Gaffero Jr. up there as well. So all of these guys settling in very quickly. Joe Scarcella, leader. It is Lovett in 2nd place. The next one through, yeah, Gary Thompson in the Muckat Trailers machine. And he's definitely got the pedal down and getting on with it. Dobson just in behind him. Scarcella, though, in control of this one as they come down through the Foster dip into Momo. A left-hander uphill and then off camber as they head up Spectator Straight.
Currently in 4th place there, that's Glenn Dobson in the Man Diesel, and I tell you what, the bull bar looks like it's sporting signs of some earlier altercation. Scarcella's out and running away with it. Lovett in 2nd, Thompson in 3rd. Joe Scarcella doing a nice job. He's really profited from the fact that Robbie Russell spent a layoff last year and spent most of the time in the truck, and it's really paying off for him now.
Yeah, well, you know, supposedly the Truckies Mates are the slower of the 2 drivers, but it really doesn't seem to be the case this year in 95. It is amazing when you look at the pace of Joe Scarcella in this machine compared to Robbie Russell. The times, there's nothing in it. And this time now you can see McKenna charging down here in truck 61. Scarcella has the pedal through the floor, trying to get away from the group. I think he's got himself a handy break at the moment, using all of the circuit and then some. Next one through, that's Cole Lovett in Rodney Crick's truck. Then you've got Gary Thompson and Glennie Dobson. Now, Glennie Dobson is subbing for the lead driver, Al Cedars. Unfortunately, Al Cedars was injured in a crash in the truck, but fortunately for Glenn Dobson, this guy's done more miles than anybody else out at Oran Park.
Done a lot of miles, but he's doing it very, very professionally. I've got to give him that. Out in front, Scarcella, having a look in the rear-view mirror just to see what the gap is like between himself and Cole Lovett there in 2nd. Little gap further back to Thompson in 3rd, and Dobson managing to close that gap to 3rd place.
Yeah, I think Glennie Dobson on the move. You can see him now ducking up the inside. He's having a good look here on Gary Thompson. Is he going to pull this one off? Thompson shuts the door. Thank you very much. Not this time round, at least. Our leader, Scarcella, down the Foster's dip. Have a look at the truck sideways. Almost fell off the edge of the truck. Very, very nicely driven there. And Lovett, the next one through in the Shell Marina Volvo. Then it's the Muscat Trailers machine of Thompson and Glenn Dobson in the newly painted Man Phoenix truck. Looks great. They really should get some sponsorship, get some names onto that truck. But gee, I tell you what, they've done really well with that right at the moment. On screen, that is Cole Lovett. And he has really got the pedal down. How would you like to have 1,200 horsepower driving you up onto the straight? It's like gorillas out of the mist as they charge down the straight here at Oran Park. 100 miles an hour. That's what they're speed limited to. They pick it up 1/3 of the way down the straight. Plenty of pace. Here comes Dobson again on Thompson up the inside. Having another go. Thompson says, no, thank you. I've seen that one before. Our leader, though, as he charges one more time down into the Foster's dip. Remember, they're doing here better than 140 kilometres an hour.
Plenty of diesel and dust out there on the circuit at the moment, and it's certainly making it very difficult for some of these drivers. Look at the attitude on Dobson's truck as he came down through the S's there then, and a little bit sideways on that particular occasion. I tell you what, an absolute handful.
Yep, he really is working the truck hard. Here is your leader, though, Joe Scarcella. one more time in the O'Brien Aluminium Penrite Oils truck. Then it is the Shell Myrena Volvo of Lovett as he charges one more time up onto the straight. A great crowd here at Oran Park. The Truckies mate race, always a favourite. It looked to me as if Dobson tried to get out of the slipstream early. One lap to go. So Scarcella looks pretty strong, as it is definitely at the rear of field there, or at least the rear of this little group. It is Dobson trying to make a move on Gary Thompson. Next one through, that is Lovett. And you can see right now the track definitely starting to get a little slippery. Oh, Dobson's got himself into trouble, spun off the bottom of the circuit there. Here's your leader though for the final time, heading up through Momo Corner. Right in behind him, it's Lovett. They've got themselves a bit of a problem here. Some lap traffic going to come into play as well. Oh, what's this? Stephen Calder's charged across in front of Gaffero and smashed straight into the wall there at Momo. Oh, Craig Smith has now crashed into the wall. That's coming up onto the straight. He might have been trying to get out of the way of the leaders and run wide into the wall. Amazing situation. Now, leaders charging for the line. That's Scarcella and Lovett. Calder's truck, gee, they're only just missing that. Well, here's Smith as the officials are getting him out. Oh, hey, look at this, another one's coming. Collinger G has crashed into the Smith truck as they're trying to get him out. Boy, there's mayhem here as they come up onto the straight. A lot of debris. You can see the flag being waved there as Scarcella and Lovett have crossed the line. Dobson snuck through all of that. I'm not quite sure how.
Can you believe this? There are trucks all over the place. Let's have a look at the replay. Coulter goes across the inside of Gaffero and it gets nudged by him, slams straight into the wall. Boy, oh boy, the force of that impact. Now here are the officials. Look at them leaving the truck of Hardy as they can see the truck of Collinger G coming sideways into him. Not sure if he just didn't see the truck or if there was possibly something down on the circuit, but look at that crash into the back of the truck. The chassis almost flexing or twisting in the process.
Well, amazing scenes, and fortunately, all of the drivers are A-OK. Well, as the crash crews do their thing here at Oran Park, it's time now to go back to the dirt track action. Here's